Hi, friends. How's it going? Happy Saturday. Today, I am going to be building the Magic of Disney, or at least getting started on it. But excited to chat with y'all on the second Saturday. So every month, on the second Saturday of the month, I go live on a Saturday morning, typically 10 or 10:30 a.m. Central Time. Sometimes I have a guest, sometimes it's just me. And yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I've been doing this now for I think a year and a half. So yeah. Hello, goofing at bricks. Good stuff. Having a good day so far. Cool. What are you up to? And what time is it where you're at? Are you in similar or the same time zone or not? So I'm Central Time. I'm in Austin. So it looks like we've got 9 bags. We'll probably get through a few. Oops. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And I'm wondering, I'm not seeing stickers, but sometimes they're tucked away in here. Similar time zone. Awesome. Yay, Brandon. Awesome. Fellow Lego Masters. Good stuff. Which season and where? That's so fun. And goofing at bricks, what's your name? If you don't mind sharing, I'd love to get to know you a little bit better. Right. Diving into bag 1. This was a set that when I saw it come out, I was thrilled about. Hi, Bethany. Good to see you. Yay, Brandon. You've watched all the seasons so far. Awesome. Oh, Lego Masters viewer. I thought you were saying contestant. That's really fun. Yay. I'm so glad that you have watched all the seasons, which means you've watched season 5, I assume. And if so, then maybe you've seen me before. But yeah, so when this set came out, I was very, very excited about it. Hey, Penny, here you go. Penny came in to join me, so she's going to be on the couch beside me. Go ahead. Go ahead. Get up there. She always needs a little bit of encouragement to jump on the couch lately, which is kind of new behavior, which makes me a little sad. Oh yeah, Gavin, awesome. Thanks for the reminder. Hey, Penny, good girl. Let me show you Penny, just so you can see. This is Penny. Yay! She's chilling in here, which sadly for Philip, she's not chilling with Philip. I don't know why you came in to join me, but I'm happy you did. Hopefully she doesn't go barking like crazy. Bethany, what are you up to this morning? Are you building any Lego? Same with you, Gavin and Brandon. Are any of y'all building any? Yeah, when this set first came out, though, I list Lego ideas as as my top theme that I want to review through Lego. So in case you didn't know, I'm also a Lego ambassador, and I get to review sets occasionally before they come out, which is super fun. And this was one that they didn't send me, so I selected it as one that I wanted to review anyway. They allow us to do that a few times a year, where we can pick some sets that we're interested in. So really, really excited to finally dig in, because it's been sitting on the backlog for far too long. So you're building, oh my gosh, that's such a good one. So the Going Merry, that was my second favorite of the 5. I got to review the One Piece sets, and the Baratier was incredible and full of incredible details. But the Going Merry was incredible as well. So I love building pirate ships. I love building ships like that. It's not something that I do all too often. So what I love is in the beginning of this too, it shows all about kind of all the different references that are in here from all the different Disney movies. And as a big Disney fan, that's something that, of course, I always want to dive into and understand where people are kind of pulling their inspiration for their designs. And this was Lego Ideas, so it was one that someone submitted for one of their contests. So in case you didn't know, they also have challenges that sometimes become sets that are giveaway sets and other things too that aren't through the typical Lego Ideas process. So Tubi has all the Australian versions as well. Yes, it does, which is wonderful. We have had a really good time watching through the Australian seasons. So back in 2023, October 2023, we filmed Lego Masters Season 5 forever ago. And when I got home from it, Philip and I started to watch through all the seasons of Australia, because I don't think we'd seen any at that point. We might have seen one at that point, but we caught up on all of them, which was super fun. So the only one I haven't seen is the most recent one, that was the Australia versus the world, or Against the Galaxy, I think is what it was called. We were able to find a way to watch Australia versus the world, where Crystal and Michelle were in it from the US, and that was really fun. So, yay. Working. Oh, yay, cool, sweet. Well, I'm glad that I can hopefully entertain you while you're doing your notes. So we get Belle. She is the start of this bag, and I'll have to compare her to the Belle that comes in the set from the beautiful castle. I got to review that one earlier this year. That one's gorgeous, but it's in the other room. I love her hairpiece. I think that was a really good choice for her too. And I'm loving Belle as a minifig. So Grandmasters of the Galaxy, that's right. Yeah, so that's one I haven't gotten to see yet. So, ooh, fun. The 2019 Captain Marvel set. Is that the one that's the ship that has the 3 characters in it from Captain Marvel and Miss Marvel and such? Or is that a different one? These I really wanted to get that one because I wanted to get the Miss Marvel in particular. And I can't remember the other character's name, but her friend that her, was it her mom knew her? I can't remember the timeline of that. But wanted to get those figures in particular. So yes, Grandmasters of the Galaxy. So yeah, and with was it the Lurkin? No, that Flurkin, right? Flurkin, I think. The cats, which are just like ridiculously funny. Thank you all for joining. It's nice to see some new folks here that I haven't seen yet, and or see some folks here that I met in person at Brick Rodeo. So it's always fun to get to chat and get to know whomever is joining in the chat with me as well. Yeah, so Grandmasters of the Galaxy, eventually I want to see it whenever that comes available for us to watch in the US, or that we can find a magic, mysterious little way to view it, because I know that sometimes happens too. Maria Rambo, thank you so much. Monica, her daughter, is represented as a minifigure in the CMF. Thank you so much. Yeah, my brain was not clicking with all of the details of who that would be. All right, so now I'm building out the base for the section that I believe Belle will be in, which I think is the middle section. Let's take a look at this picture. Yeah, so this is going to be the very front section of this too. So I'm guessing, Gavin, that you are it's the one with, oh, here we go. Oh, it's the one with Talos, Fury, and Captain Marvel. Awesome. Thank you. So that one is different than the one that I was thinking of that had Maria Rambeau and Miss Marvel, I believe. And I think we might have the set, because I know we have the Captain Marvel minifig. It might be that we got the minifig from like Bricks and Minifigs or something. But I'm guessing you're a big Marvel fan, and curious on if you've seen the newest Marvel movie, if you saw Fantastic Four, and what your thoughts are on it. So, so I love when we use these pieces, these angled pieces, to create the different angles that we see attaching. And I think for this set, that's one thing that they did really well, was creating a base that's not just regular on grid, but that kind of goes off in different directions. So looking forward to seeing what this becomes as we put it together. But yeah. You saw it last week. Okay. It was fantastic. Nice. Very, very good movie. We enjoyed it a lot. We love Marvel in our house. We watch lots of Marvel movies and have seen all of them multiple times, and really enjoyed like the whole MCU. Even the ones that people don't like, I tend to love, but I also tend to not be like the biggest critic of things. I tend to like or love things for the most part. There's very few things that I hate. And so yeah, I give it a little bit more of a pass, I think, than others do sometimes. But yeah, really enjoyed Fantastic Four. I thought it was really fun. You enjoyed it too. Nice. Did you all see Superman? I'm curious about that too. And Bethany, have you seen either of those? I don't know if y'all are big Marvel folks or not. Philip and I go to the movies all the time. We're actually going again tonight to see Freakier Friday. We actually watched Freaky Friday last night as a reminder, and I think it was actually the first time I'd ever seen it, which surprised me. I didn't remember a lot of it. That said, my memory is not always that good, so it could be that I just forgot altogether, which is quite possible. But it was cute. It was, cheesy and from the early 2000s. I think it was 2003. So let's see. Prepared for it by wearing a special t-shirt bought at the SM store in the Philippines. What's the SM store? That's really fun. Haven't seen it yet. Ben saw Superman. We're trying to find a time today to go see. Yay! Awesome. Well, once you see it, please let me know what you think. I actually want to go back and see Superman a second time. I loved it that much. Which, being more Marvel than DC in our house, and partly because I haven't enjoyed the Marvel movie, or we've watched all the superhero movies, and we will always watch all the superhero movies. But I prefer the way that the MCU has gone more so than the DCU, which I think a lot of people do, right? And so excited to see kind of where they take this, but loved this new iteration of Superman and very excited about where it's going. I'm actually reading through, and I'm at a break between issues, but reading through the Superman Son of Kal-El comic, which is really fun, and it's queer, which is interesting. So it's a different take than we've seen before, which is really fun. So it's Superman's son. Superman is in it as well for part of it, and what's interesting is there are parts of the storyline that seemed similar to what we're seeing in the Superman movie. But when I mentioned that to Philip, because he's not reading it with me, when I mentioned it to Philip, he was like, well, yeah, but those are kind of common tropes that we see in superhero films too. So he's right. So it may not be that it's like they pulled reference from it. It could just be that those are pretty common things that happen. So, but yeah. Okay, you said SM, formerly known as Shoe Mart, expanded to a department store in the mid-70s. Fun. So were you in the Philippines? Did you buy the shirt there? That's really cool. And were you there just for vacation or what? Definitely more. Yeah, I thought so. I thought y'all were more Marvel than DC too. All right. So got the base. I like that we've got 3 different colors. This is going to be the ballroom. And I think where she's spinning. So, hey, Skip. I had music on and forgot to unmute you. Yes, I was just rambling on, but you didn't hear any of it, which is sad. Hi, welcome. It's good to see you. So you've got Brick Erie coming up, right? Tell the viewers about Brick Erie, because I know that's one we haven't been to yet, so. Yay, fun in the Philippines to visit your grandmother, really cool. Nice. That's really fun. I have never been to the Philippines. I would love to sometime. Hey! Awesome. Yeah. So, type in the chat a little bit more about Brick Erie. So, Skip, Scott Skip Conchilla? I don't know that I've ever pronounced your last name. But Skip is a good friend of ours that we know actually predominantly through Gayfuls, which is fun, but also got to meet in person finally last year at Brookford, Virginia. And he's involved in Brick Erie. So Brick Erie coming up September 12th through 14th. You need more AFOLs. Awesome. We are going to be in Denmark at that time, so unfortunately can't come. But if you live within the US or want to travel to the US for this, there's the opportunity to come and enjoy. Lots of fun there. It's tied with a Comic-Con, is that right? So there's a lot of other things going on with it too, which is fun. So yay. Just realized I had a Frozen 2 set at my office. Yay, awesome. Probably a better way to spend my break than I love that I'm deemed as better than trashy reality TV. Curious what your current trashy reality TV take is, though. Are you watching anything in particular? So yay, yeah, Brick Erie and Brick and Erie Comic Con. So I think someday we'll have to make it up for that one. This year it's our 10-year anniversary, wedding anniversary, and so we are going to take a fun vacation, and we are tying it to some other things that I have that are Lego related. I was invited to attend fan media days. So as a Lego ambassador, I'm considered recognized Lego fan media. And that means that Lego recognizes my Instagram and YouTube and TikTok as an official fan media community. I don't see myself as media per se. I know others are like blogs and news and that kind of thing. I see more of myself as like a community where I do build challenges and all different types of things, tutorials and that kind of stuff. But they invite fan media to come and see the reveals of new sets that will come out next year. I've never been before. I'm very excited to go and cannot wait. And yeah, was thrilled to get the invite for this year. So we are making that 10-year anniversary trip attached to this other trip to Denmark anyway for Fan Media Days. And then we will also stay for Skaerback Fan Weekend, which is a Lego convention in Skaerback, Denmark, which is a small town in Denmark and has more kind of global folks as well. So yay! Mainly the challenge. I tried to start X on the beach, but I couldn't get past the first 5 minutes. That's fair. Yeah, the challenge. So I've been a little bit more interested in just because of Traders. I'm assuming you've watched Traders. Yeah. So if so, or if not, you should. It's incredible. There are seasons that we can watch on. It might be Peacock, I think. But you can watch the seasons in Australia as well. Okay, so I'm building like, it looks like a little, oh, this is where the window is with the rose, and I think we're going to get the rose. I'll have to show you what I'm building in just a minute once I get to a stopping point. So yeah, very excited to share more about Brandon, I love that you said this. And what's funny is Bethany got hooked on Lego because of season 5 US Lego Masters. So she just watched all of season 5. And I'm curious, Bethany, have you gone back and watched any of the previous seasons of Lego Masters? I don't know if you've had time yet to do so, but you should. And you should also watch the other countries' versions because it's interesting to see how different they are. I wish the US would have longer episodes like we see in Australia. That's one thing that I think is a little bit missing from our version. The Lego Masters Fox is 45-ish minute episodes, 42, I think, once you get into commercials and stuff. And so it's just really, really fast. And you don't get as much opportunity to see as much of the build process. So yeah, that's unfortunately speedy. Okay, so I built this so far. This is looking like the area where we're going to have the rows. I'm loving these transparent blue bricks that are shiny on the back. And then now we're putting this printed window on, which is gorgeous. And I love that then you could have a light brick behind it and it would shine through, but that's so pretty. And it gives that like magical glow for that stained glass window. And then I think the rose will be in front of or beside this. So haven't watched previous seasons yet, but you definitely plan to. Well, I would love for you to, for sure. Just for one, you'll get to know some more amazing folks within the Lego community. Beth also started to do streaming with her husband, who streams all the time, Ben. Ben is a dear friend of mine that I know through TextLug. So that's our Lego user group in Austin. And she's been joining him for his live streams and building out some fun sets. So Beth, you should share what you just built in the chat too. So a lot of things the US version needs to change. I think, I mean, obviously, I loved the experience. I'm really happy that I got the opportunity to go on it. There are things about other seasons in other countries that I prefer over the US version, and there are things about the US version that I prefer too. So I think it's fun to see how the different countries do the different approaches. My hope would be that we have another season of the Celebrity Bricktacular. I happen to know somebody who would be interested in being on that. So if anybody from casting or the show is watching, I might know somebody named Justin Brady Drenner who would love to be a part of that. So, okay, so little small details here, not too much other than just kind of creating the facade. And now we're going to get some blue kind of, what do you call that? Drapery in there as well that kind of mimics the ballroom. So especially after meeting some of the previous contestants at Rodeo, yes, yeah. So you definitely need to get to know some of my other LEGO Masters friends that I've gotten to know from other seasons too. What's really fun is it really is a wonderful global community. I am finding new friends left and right from it, which is really cool. And I'm loving how kind and friendly everybody's been. I wish that we could see a lot of other seasons too from around the globe because not every season is available for us to watch in the US. So, so yeah. All right. So adding in these little blue bits that are going to be kind of the curtains. That's the word I was looking for, the curtains in there. You met a couple of contestants through the year, Nick and Stacy. Nice. Oh, fun. Christopher oh, cool. Awesome. In Pasadena. I actually haven't met, I met Stacy this summer. We met Stacy with Justin from her season that I think they're dating. But regardless, met them together in Colorado at BrickSlopes, Colorado, which was fun. And then haven't met Nick yet. We've met virtually, but not in person yet. I've had purple hair for a while. And when I went on the show, I was like, oh, of course, it's another purple haired person, since he had the little bit of purple in his hair for a little bit too. And then he changed it to like natural hair color again. And then for the Australia season that he was on, added the purple in again too. So thought that was fun. So yes, I think one key to getting on LEGO Masters is you have to have fun colored hair. That's helped a few of my friends get on. So also Allison and Melanie. Yes. So I know Allison and Melanie both virtually. I knew Allison before the show. And then met Melanie while she was on that season. And Luis from their season is a really good friend of mine and spoke very, very highly about Melanie in particular. And so I got to know her a little bit better, kind of because he was like, oh, she's awesome. You should get to know her too. And what I love is all of the people that I've met from all the seasons have been so welcoming. And like it really does feel like a big family, which is fun. Yay! So this is what Beth built. I knew that because I watched some of their live streams and follow along. And that's one of my favorite sets that came in the Wicked stuff. So, and you say still very much a beginner. Yes, in terms of like being new to this, but you are flying through some tough things, which is fun. So you've been building, I've built, it was actually one of the more complex sets you built, being that it was 10 and up instead of your normal 4 and up. Yeah. 4 and up sets, so fun fact, come with printed parts instead of stickers. And so a lot of adult fans of LEGO like and prefer the 4 and up sets because it's the printed parts. And what I'm loving in this set so far is that it's all printed parts. I didn't see a sticker sheet. So excited that anything that'll be in here, I think, will be all printed, which is good. So, all right. So that is kind of the front entrance that we have or the very front facade that'll be below Mickey. So awesome. Working on bag 3 of the set. Good stuff. Thanks for the update. I am going to have to look up that set again to see visually like what it looks like and all the different pieces that you're building as well. The Hoopty, I think that is the ship that I was thinking of. My brain is always interesting to me how it like remembers different random silly things. I'm going to be awkward and ask if you would quickly like this video. I'd love for more people to be able to see some of this stuff, and I'd love to connect with more people. And it's always fun when I get to know some new folks. So I love so much that you all joined. And yeah, the self-promotion element of like doing YouTube and stuff always feels cringy to me, but I know that you all understand. And yeah, I would love that support. Let's see. What do you have here? The hoopty is from the Marvels. Yes. So that's the one when you said you were building a Captain Marvel set, I was like, I feel like it wasn't 2019. I feel like that was way before that one came out. So that makes sense. So yeah, I definitely don't have a picture in my head of what you're building, even though I think we built it because I know we have that Captain Marvel. So all right, so building a little table and then the rows. And what I love is when this set first came out, it was one of the first sets to get to use this new flower piece that also came in those Wicked sets. So I think Wicked and Wednesday were the first ones that had this. And then this was shortly thereafter, but it was the first time that it was in red. So now we've got it in multiple colors, which is cool. And then we get the little glass piece over the top. So that it's just like the movie, which I love. And let's see, this one goes over right to the side. Okay, so we are complete with bag 1. I'll give you a quick view. So bag 1 has Belle and this beautiful backdrop and that printed part. With the rose and then the rose under the little cloche, of course, to represent that iconic scene from the film. I remember when this came out, people were thrilled about getting Belle as a minifigure in this set too. And then we got the Belle's Castle, and so it was fantastic. Oh, I know, right? That is one thing about YouTube is unless you're actually on the stream, it's like you can't actually verbally talk. And I know, Skip, that you're a talker and would prefer to be able to unmute. So at some point, I need to do a live stream where you're my featured guest and we can chat back and forth that way too. So we'll make that happen for sure, if you want to, that is. Oh, how was Brick Fair? Tell me. Yeah. No way. You're not a talker. Tell us about how Brick Fair was. I was sad that we didn't get to go this year. All right, bag 2 moves on to Encanto. And we get Bruno. So we can talk about Bruno. Ooh, another printed part. Okay, this is fun. I'll have to show you this one. I'm really excited here. Right, yeah. Bethany and Skip, yeah, I wish that it was easier to just like have everybody on this type of call too. So we have to plan ahead a little bit for that. So here's the first face print. Flip them around so you can see the back print and the other face print that we have for Bruno. I'm going to give him the happier grin, I think, for this. And then here is the hairpiece that we have for Bruno too, so pretty cute. And he gets this really fun printed tile. He put it in his hand and then I'll show you up close. So here's the printed tile that we get for our buddy. Really, really cool. So, all right, so we've got Bruno. We don't have to talk about him too much, but glad that we have him added to the build. That was one that a lot of people were thrilled to get as well, since the Encanto sets are all mini dolls, which I know there's controversy over if people are okay with mini dolls or not. I personally like them. I prefer minifigs over mini dolls, but I think there's room for both in the world for sure. And so this is going to be the little Encanto side build. Super cute. Loving this so far. So Brick Fair, you said Brick Fair was good. Always a good show. Attendance was down. That's a bummer. Attendance from AFLs or attendance from the public? I'm guessing you mean the public. And I'm curious as to why that would be, because I feel like, so we went last year. We had a blast. It was wonderful. Spent a lot of time with our friends from Charm City, Lug, that we knew so many of y'all virtually, but didn't know that y'all were in the same Lug with each other and that you all knew each other. So it was really fun to be like, wait, all of my friends are friends. How was that already the case? Didn't realize that. So Okay, cool. So the public was down, or not cool. Bummer that the public numbers were down. We, I want to say it was like 14,000 last year. Is that like a huge exaggeration? I feel like it was a ton of people though, like a very, very large amount of people. People are being more thrifty with how they spend their fun money. That's fair. Yeah. Honestly, we saw that with BrickSlopes, Colorado. It was the first time ever that they had it. So there's a lot of hurdles when it's your first show ever, of course, to get over. But the public attendance, I don't think quite met what they were hoping for. AFOLs sold out, and we filled the place. So it was, it was fantastic from an AFOL standpoint, but these conventions, in order for them to thrive, really do need public attendance. So if you haven't been to, if you haven't been to a LEGO convention, I definitely recommend that you do. They are so much fun. It's a great way to connect with people face to face that you see online. It's a great way to see some incredible LEGO builds in person. And I have to tell you, LEGO builds that you see online just pale in comparison to what you get to see when you get to see them in person, of course. And many of you have probably already been to LEGO conventions before. So, but that said, we are going to one very soon. We are going to BrickSlopes, Utah. So BrickSlopes, Utah is the original BrickSlopes. It's the 11th year. And they have grown every year and exploded with public attendance and also with AFOLs coming, which is really fun. So hoping that continues and that they have a good showing of people coming from the local population and around the areas. We had so much fun there last year and really enjoyed it. Let's see, I flipped this around. Now it's backwards. But really, really had a good time. It's similar to how big Brick Rodeo is. So Brick Rodeo is our local convention here in Austin, and every other year we bounce to Houston, Texas. So this year we were in Houston, or Sugar Land, which is a suburb of Houston. And when it's in Austin, I've actually been pretty heavily involved in the planning, although this coming year I don't think I will be. And the only reason for that is I think people need a break sometimes. So it'll be good to get a little bit of a breather and just go and enjoy the show. I will still be participating in different ways. I want to teach another workshop, and I need to get in front of the co-chairs to talk about that again and get things set up for that. So we'll see. If I do, I'll let you know. But you should definitely come. We'll be in Austin, and we'll be in a new location this year from where we've been before. So it'll be fun to try something different and have a bigger space. We keep growing with AFOLs as well. And we think public attendance will be quite large at this new space that we're headed to. So it'll be a little bit later in July. But definitely worth coming and getting out of the heat of Texas and into the air conditioning rooms to see all the fun. So, yay! I love this too. I love to hear this. So Beth says she was shocked how much fun she had at Brick Rodeo. And Ben, your husband, was also shocked at how much fun you had too. I was thrilled you were there. What's funny is Ben said, like guaranteed Beth is going to ditch me and just spend time with you and Philip the whole time. And what I love is, Beth, you were all over the place having fun with everybody and enjoying the whole convention. So you defied what he thought was going to happen. I think he thought you were going to be bored a little bit and just not have as much fun. Okay, these are not going in. I'm having trouble with these little claw pieces. They have the little rod on the back. So these pieces here, and they're supposed to go in the holes of these little things, and it's not wanting to go in. So yeah, I'm glad you had a good time for sure. What do you think about the phone banned in schools in Texas? Did they ban phones in schools? Is that what you mean by that? I didn't know that happened. I've been paying attention to a lot of the things that have happened in Texas, but that was one that was not on my radar for sure. I think that we are in a very different society than we were when I was a kid. And so phones are more necessary than they used to be. And, that's a way that a lot of parents keep tabs on their kids and connect with their kids. And so I imagine there's strong opinions there, but I hadn't really thought about it. Okay, so Abbott signed a law banning phones in Texas. Honestly, yeah, I don't know what I think about that. Most of what Abbott does, I disagree with, to be honest. So we're not on the same page about most things. And what I paid more attention to was Philip says anything from the other room, and he's right. So probably disagree. I just need to think more about it. So yeah. And I like what Beth is saying. I have very mixed thoughts about the fun ban. I I would need to know more, I think, about it to weigh in fully. But I would say that in general, most of what Abbott does is counter to supporting the communities that I care about and value, and counter to what a lot of Texans want. So yeah. Oh, Skip. Yes. That would be nice. There are elements of Texas that I've really grown to love, which I never thought I would say before. I moved here and I told people I was an Austinite, but not a Texan, and then found pretty quickly that I am a Texan. And I think that I was resisting saying that because I felt like what it meant to be a Texan was not really spot on for me. But actually, there's all kinds of things that are great about this state, and there are all kinds of people who live here. It's such a wide range and wide variety, and people don't realize that because when they hear Texan and Texas, they make assumptions about people who are not like me that live here and that claim that identity. And so I started to claim the identity of being a Texan because there's a lot of folks here like me, and different than me too, but different than what people typically think of stereotypically. So that was actually part of what I really was excited about being on LEGO Masters, was being able to show people that being a Texan can look all different types of ways too. So all that said, the heat, I hate so much. It is awful all the time. And because of that, I'm not a big fan of the heat at all, and would be happy to move away in terms of the heat. And I would say the political nature of this state, it's frustrating, but I would also say that there are so many of us that are here that vote in a different direction than what people see as the outcomes, because of a lot of bad things that happen related to our representation in Texas. And that's what they're aiming to do right now with the fights they have that we're seeing at the Capitol right now, related to the redistricting. Thank you so much. Yeah, I loved seeing so many folks from Texas on our season. It was really fun. My phone was blowing up. I want to see this real quick, just to double check, make sure everything's okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, there's a group chat that I got on that is like going off nonstop. And all things are good, it looks like. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, I loved that we had 3 teams from Texas. It was interesting. So during casting, this was, yes, we are definitely more purple than people are aware of. Like that's definitely very true. So interesting. You don't think kids shouldn't use a phone until they're 13. That's actually the age that my brother, I think, has had for his kids too. So that's the approach that they've gone with as well. My thought on all of this is I am not a parent, and I am not dealing with the realities of being a parent in 2025. And so I don't think it's right for me to weigh in on what's right for parents in that sense. For some decisions, I think there are some things that I think I have an opinion on and a perspective on. I've been a kid, and I've had parents, so I think there's some things that we all can weigh in on with that too. But I think the world has changed so much that it's hard for me to know, like, oh, this is what should happen for everybody or not, when I'm not in that situation too. So, but yeah, going back to what Beth said, loved having so many of us from Texas on the show, from all different parts of Texas, and representing all different types of communities, which was really cool. And I love that none of us got pigeonholed as like wearing cowboy hats and overalls and like looking Texan the way that the world tends to see us, because we all were able to just be ourselves, which is great. What I was going to say, okay, I got distracted by lots of things, but coming back to it, during casting for the show, they don't want us to talk too much about the details of it, which makes sense. But one thing that focus, it's hard to. Thank you for that. I will channel my energy into that. For casting, it should be no surprise there is a bit of building that has to happen, right? They need to know that we have build skills, and they do it in a group setting. But one of our things with casting, there were multiple not contestants, what do you call that? I guess applicants, people from Texas, teams from Texas that were in there. And I remember thinking, oh, they're only going to pick one of us. Like I just made the assumption. And one of the other teams was Anthony and Joe in that. And so it was fun to get to see them there. But yeah, I was like, oh yeah, I mean, they're not going to have multiple teams from Texas. And then I saw that Anthony and Joe got cast too when we found out. And I was like, oh my gosh, how cool. There's going to be 2 teams from Texas. Did not realize that my friends, Ian and Sage, were also cast. So they were in a different like casting time frame than we were, so we didn't see them during that process. So I didn't even know they were up for it at all. So yeah, I actually found out about them being there after moving to Atlanta for filming, which was really fun. So, all right. So building out a micro scale version, there's one more wall. So let me finish that wall, but a micro scale version of the Magical House. So I wanted to give you a quick update on what's going on with the build. All right. Skip says, on the challenge that you got eliminated, what would you have done differently? Good question. I think, actually, I have a great answer for this. I've thought about this a lot. That challenge, the Batman challenge, first off, it was incredible, and had a wonderful time getting to participate in a Batman challenge with real Lego Batman with Will Arnett. So like super, super grateful that we got that opportunity. In that challenge, I went in exhausted. I went in so tired because the way that casting and filming or the way that filming was going, it was just a very, very tiring week. And we were going from challenge to challenge, and it was just super fast paced and everything. So it was hard to stay well rested anyway because of the pace that we were going. But because of that, I think I got a little bit stuck in my head with the part of the project that I was working on at the very beginning. And I allowed that stuckness to be too sticky and pull my focus too long. So I was focused on building the shape of the wings that were like the bat wing shape that we're going to attach on the left and the right of our ski mobile. And while I was working on that, John was working on the shaping of the bulk of the build that my 2 pieces would attach to. I knew that those wings had to be shaped perfectly. And because of that, I was really stressed about getting it right and was really focused on like trying to make sure that I had that exactly as it needed to be. During that time, I was getting really stressed and frustrated about it. John was having a hard time with the bubble shape of the car. And he asked me, hey, can I have you look at this and help me with this? Because he needed some help with it. And I was stressed about my bat wings. They weren't coming together, and I was not wanting to take time away from focusing on that because I felt like the clock is ticking. We need to get this right. And so I told him, like, I'll get to you in a minute. Sorry, I have to focus on this. And I kept delaying it. And he asked a couple times and was like, hey, can you look at this? Can you help me figure this out? And I was not being a good teammate in that sense because I was too hyper-focused on what I was doing. And being so hyper-focused on it, my stress was getting in the way and I could not see the problem that I was creating with the way that I was building those wings. So finally, I stopped and I was like, I'm going to take a break from this. I'm going to come over and help you. Helped him real quick figure out the one thing that he needed help with, and then he instantly was able to jump right back in and continue with the rounded shape. And it was great. But also what happened was giving myself the mental break from the shaping of those wings allowed me to solve the problem in my head because I wasn't thinking about it and I wasn't focused on it. And so it taught me the importance of giving yourself a break. So when you were working on any project, if you run into a stumbling block, of course, you don't want to give up. You don't want to just quit. But giving yourself that moment to pause can help you rethink what's going on in your head and find the fix for it. And so that also allowed me to then help John with the piece that he was asking nicely for my help with. So I let the time clock get to me and allowed that stress to get in my head. But I didn't give myself that break early enough. And I don't know that it lasted forever, that I was like saying, no, I'll get to that in a minute. But it felt like forever to me because you were constantly looking up at the clock and watching it tick down. So I think the exhaustion was a big factor in all of that. But also just that pause. So I think, and if I were to redo it, long story getting longer, if I'm asked for some help to help out with something, I would stop what I'm doing and help pretty quickly. So, all right. Here, great question, by the way. Here is the mini magical house, which is adorable, y'all. We're going to get another build of a little palm tree towards the front. And then I'm going to add a little rat on there too to represent our good friend Bruno. But yeah, loved that question. Sage and her jaw drops. Yes, I have loved some of the like memed silly content that Lego Masters social team has put together. And that was one that I thought was just super silly, was showing all of the times that she had jaw dropping moments. It was just super fun, super cute. Are you sad that Nick Cannon is replacing Will Arnett? Yes, I am. I'm not under the mindset that he's going to be terrible and awful like others are. I think actually he can be a great host. And I think when people are like, oh, he's not family friendly, blah, 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 all this stuff. My thought with that is he is a professional. And he knows how to do his job, and his job will be to host a show that is more geared towards families than some other shows potentially that he's hosted before. And so comparing what he does on other shows and in other contexts to what he's capable of in this context, I think is unfair because you're not giving him the credit he deserves as a professional. So yeah, I do have opinions with that. I feel like Will is a big piece of the vibe of what we get in the US version. And so I think there will be something that feels a little missing from that. And I also think Boone will be a fantastic judge. I'm very excited that we'll get to see him in action here very soon with LEGO Masters Juniors. But I do think that it's going to feel different than what people have been used to because it won't be Jamie. So that said, I'm rooting for it to be successful. I can't wait to see how it goes. And we're going to watch and support. And if people want to continue to see LEGO Masters come out, seasons come out, even if it's not in the exact way that you wish it was with the same host or with shorter times or whatever, that doesn't matter to me. My thought is we all enjoy the show. So even if you have complaints about it, still watch live. So live could be sometime within the week that it airs on Hulu. They track those ratings to make decisions on if they're going to bring it back for future seasons. So please continue to support, and please support LEGO Masters Juniors, because I know there's plenty of kids who would love to be able to participate in that. Okay, rant over. All right, bag 2 is done. We have Bruno and a little mini Encanto house, which I think is adorable. And I think this was a fantastic build and a fantastic movie to feature in here as well. So kudos to the fan designer and the LEGO designers who worked on that too. So yes, right, exactly. Like Cannon has done lots of things. He knows how to do this job. He is able to host, and will do a fine job. I just think the vibe will feel different, and I know that that's a bummer in some ways to a lot of people. But I would say give it a chance before canceling it. And just please watch live. Like, that's something I learned this summer is a lot of people would say, oh, we're not up to your season yet, so we'll catch up eventually. And I would tell them, I appreciate that, and I'm excited that you're watching the show and supporting it. For the show to continue, they need to see the live ratings more than the watching back seasons 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, in that order. So jump to season 5, watch it live, or if you haven't seen our season now, it's over, but still watch it now. So jump to that one, binge that one, and then go back and start binging the other ones, and then push pause and watch the Lego Masters Juniors when that one comes out too. So of the remaining challenges, which one would you have wanted to do the most? Such a fun question. There's so many. Honestly, like every single challenge that we watched afterward, I was like, oh my gosh, this would have been so fun. I think honestly, probably the life-size replica one, the 1-to-1 challenge. I love sculpting with Lego and building larger characters and things out of Lego. And so I think that would have been such a fun challenge, and would have been such a different challenge because you have something physically in front of you that you're looking at to build. And that's different than most of the other things. So we didn't have references that we could look at and glance at. If you decided that you wanted a zebra in your build, you had to remember what a zebra looked like. And the shape of one. And while that may sound silly, because it's like, oh, like if I asked you what a zebra looks like, you could probably describe it. But could you actually build the shape of a zebra from your brain, without thinking about it, without reference pictures? So I think that 1-to-1 challenge, you'd be held to a different standard because you have the physical object in front of you. And it's also one of those things where you can't like loosely replicate what it might look like. Like the goal is to make it look exactly perfect. So that's probably the one that I think I would have loved to do if I picked one. The masquerade challenge I think would have been a lot of fun. When we were eliminated right before that one, the next day we had some wrap-up tasks and things, and so while we were doing our wrap-up tasks, the other teammates were all competing in that challenge at the same time. And as soon as they were out of it, we ran into them and they were like, y'all, this would have been your challenge. You would have loved this so much. And we're so sad that you weren't there for it. And they also said that the vibe changed just because we like the energy and the personalities that we brought to the show. Not to say that anyone didn't bring personality, but everybody brings their own bits and pieces, and everyone said like it felt very different and felt more serious after we were gone. And I think part of that is you're watching the teams get smaller, so like people are starting to take it even more seriously. The challenges, feel even more high risk, high pressure. But also I do think there's an element of heart that John and I brought to the room, that felt a little missing for folks. That said, I still thoroughly enjoyed the rest of the season. And I have such a huge heart for all those folks that were in our season together, and love for all of them. So grateful that we got to continue to watch and see it continue to be really fun and entertaining. But yeah, I think we would have continued to add some more entertainment there too. So let's see, let me catch up on some other things. Let's see. So one of the other things that just warmed my heart was seeing all the kids at rodeo. Yes, right? So many kids at rodeo. And while I knew that there would be an element of people recognizing me from the show, and that would feel a little different, I don't think I expected it to be as big of a thing. And I think part of it too was just the fact that there were so many from Texas that a lot of people were watching it in Texas. But then also I think I didn't realize that, or I didn't really think as much about what that popularity of the show would feel like once people started to recognize me in those ways. Hey, Mayo, welcome. When you were a kid back in the 90s, Lego wasn't a hobby that was particularly accessible for girls. Right. And there's a viral thing that gets shared. I'll have to share it with you, Beth. I'm sure I've got it saved somewhere, of a letter that Lego provided, like wrote to families in I want to say the 70s, that talked about how Lego is for girls too. And I love that they had that moment where they acknowledged that and recognized that, and kind of brought attention to it. But I would also say their marketing still heavily focused on the boys sets and the girls sets. And I think they've finally moved to a place where they've moved away from that a little bit, because any set can be for any gender, and all people have the opportunity to build and enjoy the hobby, and can build and enjoy the hobby together. So I feel like they've really grown and improved in the way that they think about all of this. It's interesting. They got some heat for having some information on their website of like sets for girls and sets for boys a couple years ago. But what was funny was the sets that they showed were the same sets. And they were doing it intentionally to show, y'all, you do not need to hyper focus on making assumptions about what things boys and girls would like. They may like the exact same things, and nothing is meant to be only for one gender or another. People of all genders should have the opportunity to thrive in this space. So I do think they've invested in being really thoughtful about and intentional about inclusion of people across genders. So that's been really cool, and just across identities in general too. So I'm seeing this now. Just don't pick the bed. Yes, if we did that challenge, there's no way that we would have picked the bed, and we would have laughed at Luke and Anne and been like, y'all, no, don't do it. Don't do it. We would have told them not to. But what's interesting is also, no gays, no fun. Yeah, agreed. Yeah, we were missing. So the episode that we all saw, where they built the one-to-ones, filmed the week that the episode aired from season 4, but it filmed on Monday, I think, and that episode aired on Thursday. So they had not seen that challenge done. They had not seen anything about any teams choosing to pick something way too large to build. Like they saw with Sam and Nina building the big rug. Like none of that was something that was visibly available to them. So when people are like, why didn't they learn from them? It's like, well, they didn't even have a chance to know that happened before. And it may not have even been that same week. I know that it happened after the fact. So that's something that was a weird piece, was we were actually watching the Lego Masters Season 4 air while we were filming Lego Masters Season 5, which is not normally the timeline of all of that. They just rushed our filming a little bit earlier because of the writer's strike. And so, just a bizarre scenario that resulted in us being able to watch their season play out as we were filming, but like not with enough advance that it was affecting our builds, I think, in any way. Brandon said, yes, this new marketing campaign, really, really cool. They just released it. I want to say it was like a week or two ago. She built that, and it's awesome. It's really geared at girls in particular. And they've done some work related to that before too. Like 2 years ago, they had the Icons of Play set, which was one of my favorites that they released that year, even though it got some hate, that had Megan Rapinoe and 3 other incredible soccer stars or football stars from around the globe. That was a really fun one as well. Y'all, I am building Pride Rock, and it's freaking cool. I just have to show you what I just built. So this is bag 3. I'm building out the whole rocky structure. There is a bar here. This piece has a clip on it. It clips here like that. And then this just pushes down and rests there a little bit. And where it rests, that's makes it so that it's like Pride Rock. And there's the little gap underneath, which is really fun. So, and then Mayo says, which is strange because in the 60s, 70s, they use the same marketing that they changed with Paradisa and Belleville. Exactly. Like that was where it was like, all of a sudden they decided to, which I would also say all companies at that time really leaned heavily into gendered marketing, which did not really. Now we look back on it and it doesn't actually make sense, but was like a huge thing at the time. And so that was the Lego group doing what at the time was seen as the right thing to do for sure, and was not or resulted in stuff they had to undo later, right? Where they had to say, no, actually, we've been too hyper focused on this, and it's not helpful. And there's ways to make sure that all folks can enjoy this hobby together. Okay. The boxes that Lego Town Plan sets in the 60s had boys and girls on them. Yes. Yeah, I love to see some of those older examples that we see. And I think some of that too was also US impact of the way that the US did things was more gendered potentially, and the way that Denmark was doing things wasn't. And it's like, why did they have to pivot away from that at the time? Okay, how am I? Okay, this goes here. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes I think other countries do it better sometimes, right? And that's something that I think all of us could stand to recognize is there are people who live all around the globe. We all have different lives and experiences, and no one country has everything going right. Some countries have things going more wrong than other countries, for sure. And I think that's something that that level of humility I think is missing from some folks, and we see from some Americans, unfortunately. So, hi, Lucas. Am I wrong, or does this set look huge? Honestly, so this shows you the width. I think that's about 9 inches. 9 inches wide at the front. But when I'm looking at this is the very front section. And let me find the box to give you a visual, because I'm definitely not going to finish this today. So here's the visual. So I think on the back it says it's 10.5 inches wide, 7.5 inches tall. Depth-wise, I'm guessing it's 6 inches deep. So yeah, it looks it does look larger, I think, as I'm building this section out. But I think the final version is going to be, I don't know. This is maybe not helpful. So also, hi, I didn't realize you were here. Welcome. You thought from the pic that it was like the size of the castle. Oh, no. Yeah, no. Thankfully, it's not. We do not have the space for that at all. So yes, the Belle Fig is amazing. One of your favorite movies of all time? Yes. So we rewatched the animated, the live action, and then also the animated #2 when we were building out Belle's Castle, and it was so much fun to crawl back through all of that too. So it's a small decoration build. Yeah, definitely smaller than I think it was looking trying to. Of course you are, Skip. Yeah. So Pride Rock is coming together though, and I think I'll finish with this one. I might open bag 4. Usually I like to keep these streams about an hour or a little over an hour. So maybe we'll get through bag 4. We'll see. But at least through bag 3 for sure. So, and then typically I jump into brunch with Philip. We do pancakes or waffles typically on a Saturday together, which is fun. Okay, why is this? Oh, I had that backwards. That's why. That makes more sense. All right. Let me focus here real quick while I touch this guy. Is that right? No, I think it goes over one. There we go. Okay. And I'll show you in a minute what I just did there. So let's see. I remember when Lego Friends came out in 2012, they were in the same aisle as Barbie Polly Pocket. Yeah. Now they're in the Lego aisle. Yes. I do appreciate that they've moved them all to. Bye. Good to see you, Skip. I do appreciate that they've moved all of the sets together. And they're more like designed and arranged by theme, but not completely gendered, which I appreciate. The Friends line too, in wave 2 of it, has been outstanding. They have just done such a good job with those sets. They're really fun, full of incredible build techniques, and they're also reaching people of all genders, which I love, and teaching more complicated build techniques than they used to. This is Simba! And Simba is going to go on Pride Rock, and it's so cute. All right, and there's going to be some trees. So once I'm done with these trees, then I will show you the final build of this. Let me get through those first. Yeah. Anybody have any fun weekend plans other than hanging with me today, which has been really fun? Thanks for joining. It's been nice to have a good crew here today, and y'all have been very chatty, which I love. So thank you for making this entertaining for me too. I always enjoy getting to know some new folks or getting to see some friends that I haven't seen in a little bit or haven't seen in person in a little bit. So, all right, we're building out the trees, and this is, I think this tree is meant to be the one from the Tree of Life, I think is what it's called, but the tree that Rafiki, I was gonna say lives in, but spends a lot of time in in the movie. So lots of foliage pieces here. Let's see. Okay, this goes that way. So we got a bunch of foliage pieces. All right, that one will go this way. Right beside Belle. And then I'll put the other one on. She said, no plans. That's why you're surfing your friends on YouTube. Well, I'm so glad that you joined today, Mayo. It's really fun to always see you pop in the chat. And you're always so friendly and kind, which I appreciate. That's one thing about our LEGO community is I feel like it's full of really good people, which is fun. I mentioned we're going to see Freakier Friday tonight. We watched Freaky Friday last night as a recap to catch us up. And I think it was the first time I'd ever seen it. But it was fun and silly. And yeah, I'm sure the other movie will be fun and silly too. So going to see that today. I can't remember what we have tomorrow, but I think I have something on our calendar for tomorrow too. So I've got I'm working on some projects that I need to work on a little bit over the weekend. And I have some review sets that I need to work through too. Okay, I have finished Pride Rock section. So this is bag 3, and I want to show you this. So here we have Simba on Pride Rock. I'm loving that tree build. I think that's beautiful. We've also got Belle in the middle from bag 1, and then bag 2 over here with Bruno. So let's see. Oh, there we go. Now you can see it better. So loving all 3 of these sections in the very front. These will be in front of the iconic build of Mickey and his incredible hat. This is my favorite version of Mickey ever. So I was thrilled that we're getting a brick built version. And I loved that we got him in the CMF lines as well. So, and then Brandon says, Universal Studios tomorrow, final day of Mega Movie Summer. Okay, that's really cool. That is super fun. Let's see. Let me just glance through this next section and see what the build is. And I think, yeah, I'll get started on it. I think. So that is really, really fun. After Disney 100, you're glad LEGO has gotten away from strictly Disney princess sets. Plenty of magical Disney characters that aren't princesses. Agreed. Some of my favorites that we've seen that have come out, the Stitch. This was Disney 100, but the Stitch buildable one, as well as the, actually even more so, the 101 Dalmatians build. I got to review that one. It was incredible. If you're interested in reviews of sets, that was a really fun one to review. And I show some different techniques on how they did the sculpted build. When I do my reviews, I always like to focus on techniques that I'm learning and how I might apply those in some mocks. And then when I do my tutorial stuff, I like to show here's what I did and what I learned from this set and how I applied it into a mock. So recommend you check those out if you're interested. But one that I would love to get is also the buildable Simba. I think that'd be really cool. And I'm loving that we're getting lots of 101 Dalmatian stuff this year anyway. Like, just really, really fun. And I am going out of order because I want to show you this minifig. We get Lilo, speaking of Lilo and Stitch, and this was before the set came out. That was the house, and so it was the first time that we were getting Lilo. And she's got 2 face prints and a back print on her torso. Her little skirt is just a 1x2 brick, and then her hair is real cute too. I think this is the hair. I was going to say this is the hair that they used for Pocahontas, but I actually think it might be slightly different too. So, yeah, the Disney 100, that was a really fun year. So many incredible sets. Actually 2 of my favorites that came out that year were the camera set. That was really, really cool. And then the villains icon set. That was so fun. Those are both beautiful display sets to have out. And having grown up in the 80s and 90s, we had so many VCR or videos for our VCR, and so it was fun to have. It feels really fun to have like the brick built VCR related type things, like just really clever and fun. So that one felt like it was designed for those of us who grew up at that time, which is really fun. Villains icons. That was another one that we didn't get for review, and so I requested it for review like this one. So I reviewed it well after the fact, but did a video on that one too. So if you like to see some of the build techniques and stuff, that's one way to see it if you're interested. I feel very self-promoting today, sorry. But yeah, that's just, I just really enjoyed it and really had a lot of fun with it. So, all right, we are building out some waves for Little Mermaid scene and a, I did this backwards. Oh, no, I didn't. I just flipped these. Okay. I was like, wait, something's wrong here. Okay, there we go. The other, okay. Yep, I need to pay attention to what I'm doing. There we go. All right, so yeah, building out a base here, and it's going to have some waves on it. And I like the brick built waves that I'm seeing in this set. And I like the colors they use. So I'll show you in just a second the colors that we'll get to use for this. And yes, Beth, you need this one. And by need, I mean, it's a good one. You don't need anything per se, but if you want to build it, this is a good one to add to your collection. So there's lots of white in the water part of this, so like the sea foam, but even more so, there's this color, the bright light blue color that we have too. So that's going to be really pretty for the waves. And we're using Technic bricks, and that way I'm assuming these will all pin together using Technic pins, and so that'll make it easy to attach everything, but I like that it also kind of builds it in a modular way. So modular just means that you could reposition things in different ways potentially, and you're building each section by section, as opposed to like building something that just keeps getting bigger and bigger in front of you. You're able to work on individual pieces that like I can hold in my hand. So that's one thing that I think Lego designers are really good about, is thinking about the build experience that people have with them. And that's part of why it's so fun to build and not frustrating to build. I know there are other companies that have done some brick built sets, or there's like rubricable things that people have put up where they've designed something and put the build on there. And while the final build might be beautiful, the reality is sometimes they're, while it might be beautiful, sometimes the build experience is not that fun. So, yeah. I mean, I think need is appropriate in this case. Agreed for sure. So, yeah, it's really a good set so far. And it was one that like I was thrilled about. Honestly, this is the set that made me change my preferences for my top 5 Lego themes that I wanted to review, and put Lego Disney as one of my top themes because while ideas was, I wasn't getting all the ideas set, I was getting some of them. And the ones I didn't get that year were all Disney ones. So I was like, well, maybe I need to make sure they know how much we love Disney in our house. And so that's been fun because this year I've got to do more Disney. I got to do like I said, the Beauty and the Beast castle, Stitch's house. We got to do, what else did we get to do? We got to do, the Disney princess. The Cinderella's dress and the dresses for Maleficent and Cruella, which were really cool sets too. So those were all really fun. And Beth, if you're buying anything in the store, obviously there's the Lego store down the road, so that makes sense. But if you ever buy anything virtually, I have an affiliate link that I can share with you too, and that just gives me a small kickback when people buy sets from that link. So it's the same cost for you, but it gives me a little bump. So if you ever buy online, I know that typically you buy in person, which makes sense. So let's see. These are really, really pretty colors together. The blue and the white, it's so calming and peaceful. And I think this part of the build is going to be really nice. So, and it's actually going faster than I thought it would, this section of it. So it looked like there were a lot of pieces, which there are, but some of them are larger sections, some larger chunks. So, Mayo, did you have any Disney 100 sets? Actually, anybody on the feed, did you have any Disney 100 sets that you loved and that you really enjoyed from that time? So I know I heard another nod towards the Villains icon set. I also really loved the, thank you so much, Beth. Yeah, I'll drop the link in the comments after this as well. So yeah, thank you. I think it's also in my link tree on my bio for all the social places. The Up House, yes. That was your first Disney 100 set. I think it was my first one as well. That was just beautiful. And that movie, like, so good, so full of heart. Pixar Disney movies are among my favorites, I think. Just incredible storytelling, incredible things as well. Just, yeah. And it blows me away every time at like how they're able to make us cry and like fully experience all the emotions. Just incredible storytelling and details. I've read some really good books about Pixar and how they came to be and to be successful. And I follow them on social. And they do such a good job with so many things. Like I'm so impressed with everything they do with storytelling. Just really impressive folks that work there. So you want it on Twitch? That's awesome. I'm going to be doing some giveaways on YouTube. I was going to say soon. I don't know when soon will be. I might try to do some live streaming next week during the week. I've never tried that during the week before, but I have the time and ability to potentially. So if I do, I might have a chance to do some giveaways there. So, but I love that. You want a mug from Twitch? Nice. Was it from Twitch or from like someone's stream on Twitch? Do you drink tea or coffee out of your mug, or something different altogether? Maybe whiskey or mayo. Yeah, just gross me out to think about drinking mayo. Yeah, I got a bunch of sets from Bricks and Minifigs that they generously provided for me to do giveaways at our closing watch party for the season finale of LEGO Masters. And they arrived the day after that watch party, unfortunately. They got stuck in shipping. And so I did the giveaway for people like in person. And they had to attend the watch party to get them this time. So, but they have some left over and they said I could use them for giveaways on here. And then the LEGO group also provides me with sets that I can use for giveaways sometimes too. And so I've been meaning to do them on YouTube. I just haven't figured out the exact way to do giveaways on YouTube. So How you won the set was by watching. Oh, awesome. A stream for Emmasaurus. Good stuff. Yeah. She's great. We've gotten to know her a little bit better since she's also in Austin. Very, very friendly, very kind, and very fun. Like, just really interesting person. I think she does a great job with her streams and her feeds. And when I became a Lego ambassador, she was so kind and helpful, and answered some helpful questions and things, and very welcoming, which I appreciate too. So we have a good crew here. We also have Jean's version, here in Austin. And it's funny because like Jean and I got recognized at the same time, and it was after Emmasaurus already had been. And so people were like, oh my gosh, you have to live in Austin to get recognized. And the reality is we all have very different communities, and our communities are almost all virtual. And so I probably have the most Austin-based presence just because I'm involved in our lug, and have been involved in like planning Brick Rodeo and stuff. And so whereas their communities are a little bit more virtual. And we all have virtual communities. But like when people gave some heat or criticism there, I was like, y'all, we reach totally different people. Like it's not location based at all, by any means. So, and yes, of course they reach people in Austin, but they also reach people from far away too. What's interesting is a lot of people on my Instagram are connected to me through, or a lot of people I'm connected to are through Instagram who participated in build challenges from around the globe. So I've got friends from all over the globe that I'm connected to there. A lot in the UK, which is really fun. So, and last time we were there, we actually got to see some folks. So we got to see Tuga Afols, which was great. Love Simon and Dan, and also got to see Greg. And so that was really fun to get to go and spend some time with him. He's so friendly and so kind. I got to be a guest on his YouTube, his Friday YouTubes, which was really fun before. And I need to follow up with him and get on another one because it's always a good time. So he hosts such a great show every Friday. And that's been also a fun way to get to know some other UK folks a little bit better too. So, and actually, I think Mayo, I think I got to know you initially through YouTube because of the live streaming 72-hour live stream thing. We were both connected to that, and so it was fun because I got to participate in that for my first time ever last year, and then got to know some others by participating in theirs. So do you know if that's happening again? I thought it was, but I haven't heard. It may have already happened, which makes me really sad if it did, because I would have missed out. But for some reason, I don't think it has. I was talking to Haley Bricks after Rodeo, and I think she was talking about how it was going to be coming up again. So, all right, we're getting close to finishing this bag, and then after this, I'm going to go have brunch with my husband, but making some different waves. I like the layers of the white and the blue so that it looks like splashes, which is really fun. Okay, let's see. So we're getting some more wave fun here. Let's see. Brandon, are you a YouTuber as well? Do you have a stream that you share or videos that you share? And if so, what type of content do you do? I'm assuming Lego. I know there's a lot of people who watch YouTube, and there's a lot of people who stream YouTube as well. So not everybody does, and that's perfectly fine too. Twitch, I've considered. My husband bought me a Nintendo Switch for Christmas. Of course, it was a Switch number 1, the original. So, and then of course they announced like right after that the 2 was coming out. But we still said, let's just keep this one because we love it. And I was already playing it for like a month and a half before. So yeah, we, oh, yay, Goofing with Bricks is still on. And you're a YouTuber as well. Awesome. I will check it out. But yeah, I got really involved in, or got really excited about, I just got distracted. I got really excited about Animal Crossing, and that's what got me into it initially, which was because of the Lego sets. So I blame the Lego group for sure. And then have started to do Fortnite, which is really fun. Okay, so this piece here underneath it's not reading as well, but it's that like shiny pearlescent piece. So underneath here, and that's something that I don't know that I have a bunch of in my set yet, or in my stash yet. So just a browser kind of guy, but I've showed up in a few live streams. Awesome. Good stuff. Nice. And everybody should check out Goofing with Bricks as well. Thanks for joining today. Nice to connect with you here after connecting at Rodeo. So what type of content do you like to share on YouTube? And how long have you been doing it? I do the review content. I also do tutorial content. So I'm going to be doing a couple new tutorials as well coming up soon that I'm excited about, that I've been wanting to do for a while. It just, the show took precedence with what I was focusing my content around, of course, while that was out. So now that that's over, I'll have some new tutorial content coming soon. But yeah, my whole focus with being a LEGO ambassador is I want everybody to feel welcome in our community. And that includes a whole bunch of new people who just find their way into the hobby, maybe because they really enjoyed the Wicked movie and decided that they wanted to get one set, and they got a Wicked set and loved it. And then afterward fell in love with the hobby and need to find their footing. I want to counter all of the gatekeeping that sometimes happens in different communities and say, no gatekeeping here. LEGO is open to everybody and everyone is welcome. So what can we do to get you up to speed and get you connected into this space? So I get that I'm one of many voices that welcomes people. So I'm not the only one by any means, but I just want people to really enjoy the hobby and not get turned off from some not nice people that sometimes show up in this space. So let me provide the opposite of that. And my tagline is build kindness for that very reason. I really want to make sure that as we're engaging with each other, that we're engaging in kind ways. You can provide feedback, you can provide input, but do it in a way that's kind and nice, right? So, all right. So we have these two waves, the curl off on the left and the curl off on the right. I think the way they're shaped is really fun and interesting. And now we're going to attach the minifigs. So this is really fun. We get Lilo, and she is riding a surfboard, which is really cool. Here's that piece. Here we go. And she's going to be attached with a bar, or with a oh my goodness, a joint piece that is used with like mechs and stuff. It's used here, which is really fun. And I like that they're adding a little bit of a wave for her to actually ride on. This is really cool. So we'll do this. Is the blue there? Yeah, nice. And then nice. Okay, so we've got a surfboard for our little friend. And I like, oh my gosh, she is so cute. We'll get her surfboard attached. All right, so she is on her surfboard with her wave, which is really, really cute. And this is going to attach using that ball joint on the back of this piece that has the cup for it. So those are cup and ball joints for those who are new to those terms. But that attaches her so that she's on and can be riding at an angle. And you can like rotate her and have her going up the wave. So that's actually really, really cool. So yay! Doing YouTube for about a year. Nice. Congratulations. About to be 2 this August. Wow, that's really cool. I have been doing it for a year and a half. You're going to start with the challenges next week. Yay! So I'm doing a build challenge. It's a weekly build challenge using a LEGO build calendar. And there's one prompt every week. I'd love for anybody to join. You need to be on Instagram to do so. And so that's where we engage together. But they're fun, little silly prompts that you can easily build in an hour or less. So low pressure, high fun. And I would love for y'all to join. So yay. So we also have Sebastian and Flounder. These are cute. And they are being attached with some of those minifigure posing pieces that will go in here. My computer is saying it's going to die, so it's good that we're wrapping things up. I'm going to show you real quick. Oh, wait. Yes, I'm going to show you real quick. We are done with bag 4. So here's the finish of bag 4. We get Lilo coming this way. We get Flounder and Sebastian. And then as a reminder, we have our friends here, where we've got Bruno, Belle, and Simba. So much fun. Thank you all for joining. This is really fun. Happy to have you all here. I will drop my link for my affiliate link if anybody buys off lego.com. Again, it's no cost to you, but it does give me a brief kickback for providing information for y'all. So I would love your support with that. But really, thank you for joining. It was so much more fun to do these live streams when I have people to chat with, and I really enjoy how much you've engaged with me in the chat. If you could like the chat before, or like the feed before you leave, that'd be great. And subscribe if you're not already, so that we can stay connected. That'd be wonderful. But I'm gonna head over to the kitchen and have brunch with my husband. So let me get to these last comments before we go. Yeah, I'm getting the Wicked bookend set because the minifigures, absolutely. I have to tell you, we are getting those sets for review. I'm very excited to get to review them next week, and cannot wait to show off the minifigures and the mini doll comparisons, in particular from that set and also from the art set. I'm very excited about the new versions of the minifigures from Wizard of Oz that come in that set too. Minifigure scale Simba looks so cute. Agreed. Just adorable. I'm a huge fan for sure. And then Beth says, finish Olaf, got to prepare. Enjoy. So happy you were able to catch as well. Thanks again for joining. Good to see y'all. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Build kindness. Bye.